Hi everyone, this is Tim here with Bridgeburner Gaming in association with fishmonkeyproductions.com, and today we are doing our very first video review, and we thought what better place to start than with the brand new Arkham Knight game from Rocksteady Studios. And yeah, I've just completed this, got through the main story, and my overall completion of the game is sitting around about 75% at the moment, I think, and it is superb. It is an absolutely phenomenal game, and if you are looking for something on your next gen console that will just visually blow your socks off, this is the game for you. That's not to say that it is perfect. The Batmobile is a real, you're either going to love it or hate it. I sort of like sit in between on it at the moment. As far as driving the Batmobile around, chasing down criminals, and getting from point A to B in the city very quickly, it's great. It controls very nice, feels chunky, feels powerful, and yeah, it's really good. And even some areas that people had problems with, such as when you have to use the Batmobile as a sort of tank to take out all these drones, I didn't really find it too much of a chore until sort of towards the end of the game, when they are throwing a lot of drones at you, and it can get a little bit annoying. The controls aren't entirely perfect on it, but other than that, I didn't mind that stuff too much. My main sort of problem was more just how it was implemented into the overall story, I guess. I was chatting to Matt from Fish Monkey Productions the other day, saying that, you know, it's sort of like the age-old thing. You look at Dragon Ball Z and you think, well, if Frieza had turned up at the beginning of Season 1 of Dragon Ball Z, they'd have been fucked. They wouldn't have been anywhere near powerful enough, and they wouldn't have been able to deal with it. Kind of the same thing with Batman here. Like, we've had 3 games now where Batman hasn't needed or used the Batmobile at all, and then all of a sudden the Batmobile just becomes this key component. You know, it's the only way that Batman can get through these problems in the cities, by doing these weird sort of like almost platforming, like sort of physics-based platforming sections with the Batmobile, and you just sort of think like, oh cool, blimey, well, you know, it's a good job the Arkham Knight showed up now instead of, you know, like during Arkham Asylum or something like that, because without the Batmobile at his disposal, Batman would have been completely fucked. So it felt a little bit ham-fisted, the way that pretty much every single mission of the story was forcing the Batmobile upon you. But other than that, the game shines. It is without a doubt the most detailed and beautifully diverse game I think I've ever played in my life, and you know, and that's even comparing it to games like The Last of Us, Bioshock Infinite, things like that. The environment of Arkham City and all the different environments in it, like from the blimps to the sewers, the amount of assets and just attention to detail, it kind of in a funny way reminded me of the South Park The Stick of Truth game. When you go into any of the boys' bedrooms, you've got the cupboards, you open the cupboards up and it is just full of, you know, just this memorabilia and stuff from the history of South Park. Exactly the same here. If you go into Oracle's Watchtower or the Gotham City, you know, police department, or, you know, Wayne Tower, there are so many little nods to, you know, little bits of Batman lore that only sort of like die-hard fans will get. And it's things like that that just make this game feel like a living, breathing place. It's just absolutely phenomenal. The combat is still very much the same as Arkham Asylum. It has been tweaked and refined over the last few games, and what you have here is pretty much the perfect sort of representation of it. I did feel that in Arkham City, the amount of abilities and stuff the bad guys had was a bit detrimental to the free flow combat, as you were really having to sort of concentrate on, you know, the different colours of countering and things like that. And it does happen a little bit towards the end of the game here, but for the most part, the amount of gadgets at your disposal, and just how smoothly the combat is, really, you know, makes it a lot less of a chore and a lot more fun to play. And moving on to what is probably my favourite bit of the game, apart from just the sheer beautiful, gorgeous detail that this game goes into, is the side quests in this game are just as fleshed out as the main story. As you fly around the city and you come sort of into close proximity of a side quest, be it a serial killer that's like you know, like leaving bodies behind, or Two-Face robbing banks, or the Penguin trying to sort of like ship weapons to safe houses, they will then trigger on your sort of like quest screen and then become available as side quests. And as you do these side quests, they are just perfectly balanced. The difficulty is perfectly balanced on them, just to be the right side of challenging, and they're meaty enough that they do feel like they could just be part of the main story itself. A particular highlight for me, I won't go into too much like spoiler territory. If you've listened to the latest chit chat with Tim and Matt, I do go into it there, but Hush's side quest is only a very short one, but it shows that Rocksteady know what they're doing, not so much just with Batman, but with game direction as a whole. It really reminded me of in Arkham Asylum, when the game pretends that it crashes and reboots, and then you find out that it's not, you're actually just sort of like hallucinating. But it was that way of sort of almost breaking the the third wall, or the fourth wall even. And yeah, just really just showing that they are masters of what they do. And even though it does kind of leave it open for a possible sequel at the end, I would love to see Rocksteady try something new. I mean, like, we know now that they can do Batman. Arkham Asylum is still arguably my favourite game, just because I love the Metroidvania feel of it. Like, it's absolutely stunning, really, really good. But as far as the open world Batman goes, this is by far the definitive open world Batman game, and one of the best sandbox games that I've played, full stop. It's just absolute genius, and you know, the final sort of climax of the game is spread over a couple of hours, and again it just does so many things that you are not expecting a game like this to do, and it just shows that Rocksteady have absolutely outdone themselves. You know, without a doubt, they are absolutely masterful. And I would just, yeah, love to see them do something different. You know, not necessarily with another superhero franchise, but they can prove that they can make games, you know, like no one else. The way they make games is on par with, you know, another studio like Naughty Dog or Valve. And yeah, I would just absolutely love to see them try something new. So yeah, go and get this game. It is absolutely phenomenal. If you're a Batman fan, you won't be disappointed. Even if you're new to the series, it doesn't overly rely too much of you playing the other games. It might be worth checking out Arkham City, just because the end of that is integral to a lot of stuff that does go on in this game. But yeah, buy it now. Batman returns, and he is absolutely phenomenal. Awesome stuff. See you later, guys. Take it easy. Bye!